She brought us beautiful Valentine's trees on her own accord, and they look amazing, and she did a beautiful job with her presentation. Please check it out. The way I look at it as is if she can present like this on a platter, what can she do with your home? Do you want to get up and say a few words? We really appreciate you stopping in.
Okay, well, I can do that. I wasn't expecting that.
We're love trees, so thank you.
Well, yes, I come from a very large family, so baking, cooking is definitely down my alley. So, so there's really not much that I can't bake or cook or present. Anyways, please enjoy. There's just brownies and some strawberries, and I went ahead and put my business cards in there because last time I was here, I did not have my business card. So you can, have it, and you can have it in your pocket now and give it to whomever you want. But I basically just want to let you guys know that I really, truly appreciate you guys allowing me to speak last month. And there's a lot of things that I probably you have more questions for me, and I wasn't able to answer them. But the reason I would love for you to choose our company, Superior Services and Solutions, is because there's so many houses out there that just need a little extra care, and I really feel that I can beautify those homes for you. I want to be that one person that you can contact should you need minor drywall repair. You know, kids like to kick the walls for whatever reason or throw a ball, and some of these customers, don't know how to repair a good sized hole or want to paint that wall. Maybe they don't want to call the painter to come in and, you have to pay for, that, and I can be that person that you can call to paint that wall, to fix the board on the piece of board on the deck that hasn't been repaired or that's rotted, or just little accent pillows or bushes and all kinds of little nice things. Right now I'm working on some trim molding at my house, and everything's done except what you haven't completed, right? And so I ran out of molding, so I went to my friend's shop and we just routed out some 1-inch squares and put it on the table and cut it up, and so now I can do my next project.
That's really cool.
So yeah,
You do it all.
There's a lot that I can do. Growing up with 6 brothers, you kind of learn how to be in the garage and hand over tools. So over the years, I have learned a little bit along the way. Yes.
So we talked a little bit afterwards, and it sounded like a couple of the biggest benefits were that you're sort of like a general contractor for some of the, not only you'll do some of the painting yourself, but you might, if you need a professional big paint job or you need more done, that you'll handle, it's kind of like you do home staging some, and you do also painting, and you do quite a few different services, so that you could be someone that just would save me a lot of time by you would manage it, you'd be someone to trust to be able to work directly with the client and just know that the place is going to be pressure washed or leaves blown or some screens repaired, and you'll take care of, especially if it's someone elderly or someone who doesn't want to deal with it, they're out of state, that it could just take a lot off my plate as an agent to be able to focus on what I need to focus on, and you take all that.
Absolutely, you
off.
can trust me with that. If you ask me to do a job for you, I will make sure it is done. If the customer needs roofing done, or if they need plumbers to come in, I can help them make sure it's done correctly, or if a door's being hung. A lot of times they hang a door and nobody checks in, okay, it's crooked, you can't shut the door, or there's a roof leak, and we have very busy people. People travel, they travel and they're not home or running around with their kids. They don't have time for that. And decluttering your house is a huge thing. No one wants to go, buy a house that has all kinds of stuff in there. And sometimes we just need to be very caring and respectful to those clients that have a hard time, getting rid of their things, and when they really do need to get rid of their things or put it in storage, so that your house has that curb appeal that is needed for me as a buyer that wants to come in and buy that house. So
Wonderful. Anybody have any questions? Comments? Thank you. Well, it was such a pleasant surprise this morning. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're so happy your cards are here.
Yeah, our cards are here, and there's some fruit, and there's also some $4 chocolate brownies. So please enjoy. So maybe go up here and grab a bite. That way you can listen to the rest of the meeting.
There we go.
Think of Superior Services.
I like it. It was so good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
What a pleasant surprise. Thank you. again for coming in. Take care. God bless you. God bless you.
Oh, yes, how you guys?
Thank you.
Please get some treats. Maple fruit and brownies, nothing's better in the morning. Bill, you're in the right spot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Take care. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Things are good. Valentine's week. Fun, mostly fun, right? Wear your pink for the week. Enjoy the things. So this week, we just had our 5th boot camp week. It was another great one. We're so glad everybody that's participating. The feedback has been wonderful. So I highly encourage when we run this again, which we will run this again, to participate again or add yourself in if you didn't do it this time. So take the chance, invest in yourself. We know that things come up. We know that humans are not perfect. Just sign yourself up, commit yourself and do what you can, right? We want you there. We definitely want you there. Other things coming up this week, we've got Bold Trail Masterclass, both the 13th and the 14th. So you see our focus has not shifted, it is still the same. We want these things to work for you, right? All right, boot camp we just discussed. We're gonna get moving through that. RC25 registration has officially closed. At this point, you have to register on site. However, you can still register, so it's okay. You're not losing out on anything. No one's saying you're not allowed to go. You can still book a hotel room. You can still do the things you need to do. If you need help, please contact one of us. We're happy to help you and guide you to where you need to go. But like I said, registration has now officially closed, but the on-site registration is still available.
It's way easier too to do it there.
It
I never
is.
pre-order, I always do it there.
Do you? No, you get a price discount if you early do it, though. That's the nice
And you know
part.
what's funny? You get me the price discount, even when I register there, they always give me the deal.
Oh, do they? Okay, good. Good.
Well, not always, but you do, you know, when you make that call and I get a room, I get everything.
Magic happens sometimes when magic needs to happen. You just figure it out. And you beg. Please.
Exactly.
Joe did it again!
Kindness goes a long way there.
Yes, kindness does go very far, and our region loves us very much. So these are all good things. But please come and have some fun with us. Like we said, we have a hospitality room. We're doing things differently this year. We want to have fun with you. We want to see your faces. We want to enjoy some time together and have some camaraderie and hang out and network with different people and invite them in and get to know people. It's how you build your referral networks. All right. Oh, do you want to talk about this?
Sure.
All right, Autumn.
We are updating what we're going to be doing at RC25. We're going to have a skit instead of a dance, and we changed it from Grease to superheroes, and it doesn't matter what type of superhero, it doesn't have to be Marvel. But if you want to be a part of this extremely fun skit, we do need to assign you a part. So if you could register for this Zoom that we're going to be doing on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Registering for it allows me the time to give you lines in the skit. So we're really excited about it. Yeah, register.
We certainly won't tell you no if you decide to do it last minute, but we'd really love if we could be prepared, right? So we can coordinate a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but let's have some fun with it. And maybe not everybody looking alike in the same costume, right? Or same outfit. So either way, but we put a lot of time into this. We would love to, for whoever is coming to participate, if you're willing to, it'll be fun. All right. We have a happy hour coming up that all are welcome to, and this is after next week's boot camp. So Monday, February 17th at 3:30, we will be at El Toro for a little celebration for after boot camp. But guess what? The secret is that everybody can come. So please come. Please have some fun with us. We just want to see each other off-site and celebrate the successes of the last 6 weeks, get you excited, and then you'll jump in the boot camp for the next time.
And Brad's buying drinks too, right?
All of them. All the things. All the food. All the drink. No. Miguel has so kindly set this up for us. He has connections at El Toro, so it'll be great. And El Toro's food is great if you've ever been there. The margaritas are delightful. The food is very good. Come off site, come have some fun. Let's get out of these four walls.
That's very nice.
It is, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We got some scams. If you haven't seen them already, we got some scams that are happening, but you're all pretty familiar with them already. So we've got two that have popped up. Received word of a few encounters this week involving out-of-state cash buyers wanting help with to purchase homes who only want to communicate via WhatsApp. We've seen this a few times, haven't we? In fact, Blake Ashley called me the other day and said, I got a lead for $1 million cash buyer. Exactly the same story. However, I said, well, what's the phone number? And he said, well, it's out of state. I said, is it a WhatsApp or is it a phone number? He said, it's a WhatsApp. Oh, I said, yeah. You know, you might want to try to ask for a phone number via the system, and if she doesn't respond, then move on your merry way. This is happening. Don't get caught up in it. Fraudulent letters are being given. So when asked by the agent for more forms of contact with these buyers or more information with them, their communications have ended. So at least they're going away, right? Because you become too hard to target at that point. In one case, the agent received an AI-generated bank statement as proof of funds, but nothing more than that. Please be aware and cautious there are scams published on the internet involving fake buyers who only want to communicate via WhatsApp. It is AI, and I'm not blaming AI because these things have always happened before. It's just quadrupled by millions. AI has made it really easy to scam people. They can get your voice. They can make bank statements when you can already do these things, but they're even better, right? They're even better. Ken, you do a lot of IT. What have you been hearing with some of this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the ability to spoof is continuing to increase.
Yes.
You can spoof phone numbers, you can spoof, obviously WhatsApp is even harder to trace. So just always question whenever you get something that doesn't seem right, do your due diligence and just follow up.
That's all you need.
I mean, simple Google searches are great.
They are. They are. I Google phone numbers all the time. Now I know it's not foolproof. However, you can usually start connecting some dots. And nothing may pop up. However, other things do sometimes, and it tells you a whole lot, especially we're being spammed, not even scammed all the time. We're just being spammed all the time, and then you have scams on top of it. So
Every time
imagine.
you hear me swearing in my room and Sheila know,
Mhm.
I love them when I get those phone calls and then I get turned off.
It's your therapy session for you, isn't it?
So great,
It's where you get all your anger out.
so great.
So there's a buyer, she lives in Fenton.
Mhm.
This is her same memo, Teresa and I bumped into her 3 times.
Mhm.
We've actually met her. And she presents fake,
Mhm.
fake, bank statements and
Mhm.
stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
Don't know if there's ever any penalties. I'm wondering.
Until they actually commit a crime, it's very difficult.
Right.
Wasting time is free.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently, but, I mean, it's out there, she's gonna keep doing this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
It makes it feel important.
It makes them feel important, and it's usually a more expensive house. Hey, I'm gonna buy this house, so she showed up at a Carlton houses twice. I don't know how she didn't recognize us. And both times, hey, I wanna buy this house cash, here's my proof of funds. I'm like, I've seen this before, you've already given this.
For a different
It
amount.
was fake back then, and it's still fake today.
Yeah.
Wow. And she pulls up in a beat-up car. That's not supposed
That
to
was
mean
the
it.
first,
Can't judge a book by its
That's
cover.
right.
Hey, the guy who's head of Toro, Toro Distribution here, will pull up in an old 70s wood-sided station wagon. And you'd have no idea he has that much money. Right, so you can't go by that. But anyway, she's out there, she's gonna keep doing this. And so just realize it's just part of it. When something doesn't seem
Yeah.
right, check it. I Google search every phone number.
Every phone number,
Everyone.
every one of them now.
if that
And
phone
sometimes
number
it hits a
doesn't
block that I
connect to
can't get through, but
the same name, because a lot of times the phone number will connect to a different.
yes,
So,
it often does.
and that's how you can
wastes so much time, because we get so many.
A lot of doctor office spam numbers right now coming from like clone doctors' offices.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, that too. Yes. All right, so here's the second one. Agent has reported that she showed a couple who attended her recent open house additional homes based on their stated needs. Throughout their conversations, their lack of knowledge about the areas of the properties and the vague reasons they gave for relocating raised concerns. Red flags, right? The male seemed overly friendly and flirtatious with the agent, feeling uneasy about the encounter. She checked into the man's background, discovering that he is a convicted sex offender from another state. She wants to raise awareness and urge others to use caution with working with brand new clients. We've heard this more and more lately. This has always been around, however, you're hearing about it more, and it is easier to do these things right now. We are very much in the public eye. You are very accessible, correct? Anybody can have access to you. They can find your phone number, they know where you work, they know your listings, they know a lot about you. You're very, I mean, outside of being like a high profile, everything with realtors is high profile. It is a real thing. So safety is something that you need to take into consideration. And it doesn't discriminate between male or female. We have to be very vigilant. If your gut tells you something's wrong, leave. No dollar is worth you being put in a position that you are uncomfortable with. These are real things that happen. This is a real comp subscriber. This is someone that's in your same service area who had this happen. We already know about the horrible incident that happened in Fowlerville a few months ago. Thankfully, she was unharmed physically. The trauma internally is a different story. It happens in our own backyard. We're not immune to it. We live in a bubble, but it's not that protected of a bubble. All right? We have to be diligent and vigilant to make sure that we are safe. Please be safe. Miss Rebecca, anything you want to add for this week? You've been working very hard on many projects.
Yeah, we have some new stuff coming that should be pretty exciting for agents who want to be a part of it. We're going to start maybe some more social clubs to try to bring some of the offices together a little bit more and get our agents a little bit more involved. So keep an eye out for those coming. And maybe some other programs.
Beautiful. Stay tuned for more. But wait, there's more. There's always more. You guys keep us busy. Ken.
I just wanted to thank Rebecca too, along with Jordan and Rob, about the great job they did with the KV Core Gold Trail Masterclass in Ann Arbor. Very informative, very powerful tool. So I'm looking forward to really using it.
Thank you for your commentary, because that Bold Trail is a massive undertaking for every staff person, and they have taken the harnesses and just railed right through. So.
And what's nice is the more people we can get comfortable using it, the more things we can create in it for you guys. So the more we can kind of help you with things.
The more and more we can get adoptability would be great. If you haven't dabbled in it, please come see us. Don't be afraid of it. There's some really cool stuff to it. You don't need to use it fully, even just dabble a little bit.
And that's really one of the best ways to get started in a big, powerful tool like that, is just take a piece of it and start playing with it and using it and getting comfortable, and then expand over time.
Yes, you don't have to jump in with your feet first. Just dabble a little.
When Rebecca started, I was like, what the hell do we need another manager for? But after talking to her, and she changed my whole cooking game. Definitely changed my whole cooking game.
You guys swap
But
recipes.
she's so knowledgeable, and
Mhm.
she's so good on the computer,
Mhm.
and I'm blown away.
Mhm.
I mean, I've told everybody, I'm like, she's definitely
brilliant.
the real deal.
Yep, she's brilliant.
But my cooking game has definitely She got me into these pots.
You just needed the right tools.
Yeah. This,
Same
what's
as the
that pot called,
CRM.
LaCroix or
Le Creuset.
that?
They're
Holy
amazing.
smokes, they weigh like 50 pounds.
Yep. It's a good weapon if you need it. You can work out with it.
They cook awesome.
They do. They're really nice. They're very nice. Well, thanks for recipe swapping. Maybe you guys can create a book for us. A little recipe book in your spare time.
Recipe book. Oh yes, all of that.
That's what we should do.
How fun would that be?
Nice recipe book.
That would be fun. Everybody's favorite
I think
dish.
lasagna is always such a hit.
Carl's.
So
Yeah.
that would need to be in it for sure.
Mhm.
We used to have one.
Did you?
Yeah, we had one.
Okay.
It was like, I've got about 4 of them, they're about this thick.
No kidding.
Would you be willing to bring one in for me to look at? I'd love
Yeah.
to maybe get that going
Everybody
again.
put in their recipes. I mean,
It was
I
awesome.
like
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's revitalize some. Let's revitalize. I like it. I like it. See what conversation just does? Creates
I
things.
had, when he said, I had to say it because, you know, I'm like Doug, I don't like spending, you know, crap, how do you need a manager? But when you talk to her, when you see what she does, when she's totally different than you, and she's great.
Thank you.
That's all I can say.
I don't know if I should be insulted that.
No, she's just different.
I definitely don't have your skills.
What'd you say?
I said, I definitely don't have.
Oh
your
no, we have very
skills.
we all have very complimenting
Amen.
skills.
And you're always trying to bring the company
It's a joke.
together, and you're always doing stuff when we're all broke. And you still do that, you still help us all.
Because we have to. That's what we're here to do.
And we want to.
We want to. Not just we have to, we want to. This is what we want to be doing. So we enjoy it. We have a great team. Any insurance needs, you know how to get a hold of them. They're there for you. If you have any questions, Alex's wife, who got the update last week? Andrew, that's right. She's on a good path. So glad to hear that. Very glad to hear that. Set your appointments with Lisa. She's here for you. She always is. She's wonderful. She's helping with boot camp. She has all sorts of great things popping going through. So she's here for everybody. All right. Tanya wanted me to remind everybody that Monday is a federally recognized holiday. Please plan ahead, okay, for your closings. You have to plan ahead for your closings. Bill?
Yesterday or?
Next week, Monday.
17.
Yes, the 17th. So you're good. All good on your end with that?
Yeah, I mean, we just schedule around it.
Schedule around it, exactly. It's life, but just think ahead. If you're trying to plan something last minute, you gotta know this, and we all plan last minute. All right. Mr. Bill, come on down. I've let you off the hook a lot lately.
Nope.
Let me click on this.
That's all right. What's this you're showing?
This is the process for, I know, right? Hold on. This is the process. We're talking, so the subject today is, it's not in that. Hold on, it didn't come through. Talking about fighting your property taxes because this is becoming a topic of conversation for property tax appeal. So this is the process and it's very small. But I'm gonna let Bill take the floor and then you know that we have the resources for the process.
So, so there's 2 steps to this, to fight your property taxes. And the first step is with the local board that looks at everybody who files an appeal of their property taxes. You will get a notice in the mail about what your assessment is and what your taxable value is. And then somewhere on that first notice, it'll say you have until X date to file something with the township in order to appeal what it says on that piece of paper. It's generally a pretty short window, usually like a week, so you really have to jump on it to get in front of them, to file your, to contest what your taxable value is or your assessed value. I will tell you that I've only lost one of these, and then I won at this level, okay? So, but the thing about it is, if you go in there and just whine, you're not gonna win. And they're gonna keep your assessment and taxable value exactly what it is. If you say, oh, my neighbor, they don't care. you have to come in with some proof that they are wrong, okay? So comps of houses that have sold that are like yours helps. Appraisals are off the top. I mean, that you will win every time if you have an appraisal. But if you go there and you lose, then this is the next step, is going to the tax tribunal in Lansing. The township doesn't like to go to the tax tribunal.
They definitely don't want you there.
And I've never lost at the tax tribunal, but it's all about having proof, right? If you just go there with no proof, you're gonna lose. You know, you need an appraisal, you need comps, you need something like that. It's very easy to walk through the process and you don't need an attorney. It just takes time. You gotta file the right paperwork, and they will give you, when they mail your result back to you, it tells you on that form how you go to the tax tribunal. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you go there and you go in front of an administrative law judge, you and the assessor, and he just looks at what proof you have. But he's not gonna, if you whine at the township level, and then you go to the tax tribunal and you continue to whine, you're gonna lose twice, right? So get your proof together. That is the most important thing I can tell you about fighting your property taxes. Joe?
When a home becomes uncapped, is there a limit of how much they can go up?
I don't know the answer to that. I'd have to look, I don't know. Yeah,
So I've done this probably maybe 4 or 5 times over the years, and only one time did I ever win. It was right after the '08 crash. But I do remember, if you want, and I thought I had a good case that I presented before the township,
right.
and I wanted to appeal to the state, but if I remember correctly, there was a pretty substantial fee associated to go to the state, and I just couldn't justify it.
Yeah, it's not, well, last time I went, it's not that much. And I mean, if you can win at the state, you stand to, save yourself a lot of money in taxes. Yeah.
I find, for the townships I've dealt with, specifically Osceola and Hamburg, that they use our own ignorance sort of against us.
Yeah.
You'll show up, and I especially found this to be true at Osceola, who has a brand new assessor. Walked in and said, "You've just assessed me at $50,000 more than what I just paid for the house 3 months ago."
Right.
And she goes, "That's so."
Yeah. So what?
I said, "Okay, well, I want to appeal that." She's like, "Well, you can't." Well, wait a minute, I have this piece of paper. She said, "No, you gotta wait till next year."
Yeah.
I said, "Wait a minute." And she's like, "Oh, well, you have to," actually what I meant, you have to fill out a form. You can't just walk in here. So, and I had other people that had a similar situation with the same, and they tried to use the fact that we didn't understand the system
Right.
against us. So educate yourself how the system works.
Right.
Once I educated myself, despite the fact that she was there on that same board, the assessor was, the board of 3,
Yep.
and she was rough on us. Oh my gosh. But we just brought our comps, not our own home, but just other homes that sold in the neighborhood at exactly the same shape as ours. And they ended up meeting us in the middle, which was still too high, but I just took it.
Right. Well, and that's probably a good result and not worth appealing. If they just blow you off entirely when you have comps and all the effort that you put into it, then I'd appeal it to the tax tribunal. And it's not a hard process, but just read. I mean, this is pretty easy to do if you read the directions, right?
Right.
And they will, the assessor especially, A, doesn't like being questioned, and B, hates going to the tax tribunal. So poor Amy Pashby, I hate to mention names, but poor Amy Pashby in Putnam Township.
She's not there anymore.
Yeah, well, probably for good reason. But anyway, she just didn't know what she was doing, you know. And when you point that out in front of her peers, because they sit on these local board, they don't like that, you know. So have your proof together, have your comps, or even better, an appraisal. You know, if you just bought it like in your case and you can get your hands on the appraisal for the mortgage, that's great proof to take in front of the tax tribunal to say, look, this is what the appraisal said for the mortgage. You guys are out of your minds raising it 50 grand.
And she used that against me too. We asked, well, because we know appraisers, we'll have an appraiser, we pay cash for the house.
Uh-huh.
We'll have an appraiser come out. She's like, we ignore those, we throw those away. And again, use my own ignorance.
Right.
You don't, when you walk into a township and you figure you're gonna have an honest conversation, well, sometimes that goes out the window. So don't believe what they tell you.
I mean, the assessor's job is to raise tax revenue,
Yes.
right? So, and they use your property's value to raise property tax value so that they have money to run the local government. And so don't think that like he just said, that you're gonna have an honest conversation with the assessor, because most of the time, they're gonna raise it higher than they should, and if they get away with it, they've just made more money for the township, so.
My buddy's house that you married me in, or you were there, his taxes went up like $16,000-$17,000. And they said, oh, we didn't see that it had a pool and a finished basement. Like, the pool was done when they built the house, when Renee owned it. And the finished basement was there too. I mean, but they just caught it and they raised it like $16,000-$17,000. And then they said, well, you can't do nothing about it because we're only taxing them at $1.7 million. And I got it at $2.3 million for sale. But I don't get their math. I mean, it went up ridiculously high.
Well, and again, if it went up ridiculously high and you can prove that they're wrong, then you should get comps and you should go and fight
Next
it.
year,
Huh?
or this year, or later this year, right?
Not when it's listed for that.
It usually is in the springtime when the townships have their,
They're gonna say,
yeah.
they're gonna say.
it's gonna be relatively soon.
You only get.
Well, how do you fight that when they're doing that at 1.7? You gotta list it for 2.3, but
Well, what's the 1.7? Is that assessed value?
that's what they're saying, that they're taxing it at 1.7.
Well, I'd have to see the bill. If it's 1.7 and that's the assessed value, they're saying it's worth 3.4.
Oh,
So
no,
if you're-
we're saying it's worth 1.7.
Well, then you're probably not gonna win if you got it listed at 2.3.
But they forgot to get the pool, and they got that off my listing.
Well, they
And they got
say,
that taxable value free for the last X amount of years.
And the next guy's gonna pay more.
yeah.
You just let it go.
So, yeah, don't forget that there's assessed value, taxable value, and a lot of times they have the assessed way too high, yeah.
Square footage.
Yeah,
I find a lot of times the house is 1,500, townships have the wrong floor plan. They have it at 3,000 square feet, and they're being taxed higher than what they paid for it. I had 2 people within the last year have to fight for that.
yep. And we've said in this meeting before, when you're looking at square footage, the township is probably the worst source of information about what the square footage is, and that just backs up what you're saying, because they often have it wrong.
It's $150 and gets you the standard
Yep.
appraiser value.
And again, that's the kind of proof that if that's what you're basing your appeal on, that they're got twice the square footage that they should have.
But it's hard to find a comp with 12,000 square feet, you know, it's just a hard one.
They're out there, you just gotta look, yeah.
So I wanted to get your opinion or how to handle a situation. I had an addition put onto the pole barn, pulled the permits and everything. The assessor came to my door and said, I'm here to do the assessment. Can I look around? And I said, sure. And the
First
assessor-
mistake.
First mistake.
Mistake
Yes,
number one.
I know. I found that out because not only did the assessor go to the new construction or the addition, but she circled my house.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she found that the house had AC, which was not listed before. So I guess my question to you is, can you restrict where the assessor goes? And
You can tell them no.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I tell them no.
We told them.
Go away.
Assessors at your house to do one thing, raise your taxes.
Yeah, that's the only reason she's there. So you're trying to be nice and you don't have to be.
I thought it was part of the protocol with pulling permits and stuff that I had to, okay.
They
No
can get
way.
offline, whatever they can see offline.
Now, it's different, it's different if it's somebody from the building department checking on, if you completed the thing according to your permits, that's a different guy. But if they identify themselves as the assessors, say, get off my porch.
There's been issues with them now having drones too. Not issues, it's just reality of technology. They also use drone technology.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So just, be aware, they're just there to raise tax money, and they are often wrong, but don't go in there just blindly with no proof in your hot little hand. You have to go in there with either comps, an appraisal, something to justify your position, and if you give it to them and they just ignore it or blow you off, go to the tax tribunal and take them with you, and you will win at the tax tribunal 9 times out of 10. Okay? Any other questions? It's not that hard to do.
Don't they go
You
back
can
so
do
many
it.
years if you went into tax tribunal?
It depends. Sometimes.
Because you did that.
Yeah, I've had it. You got to ask for it. I made them go back 5 years.
Oh, wow.
They didn't like me.
Did they do it though?
Huh?
They did it
Oh,
though?
yeah.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
Because the tax tribunal is like, they have authority to order them to do it, so they have to do it if the tax tribunal says so.
So, again, probably misinformation from the same township. If you win at the tax tribunal stage, next year you're still uncapped, is what I was advised. So they could raise it more than 5%.
Well, the tax tribunal gets to tell them what to do.
Okay. Do I
So,
have to ask for
yeah,
that?
yep, you have to ask the tax tribunal because, and I would put it just like that, they've threatened me. They told me that if I came here, that they were gonna do X, Y, or Z. The administrative law judges do not like that. So, if in fact they threaten you with some adverse action in the future, tell the administrative law judge that, and he will not let them get away with that. Okay?
That's why Joe always says, okay. Unless someone walks out and he turns.
My sister comes to your door, put $100 bill in
That's an option.
If anybody is interested, I do have talking points for this if you want to talk to your clients regarding any of this, as far as process goes and tips and tricks. So I'm happy to share that. But this next part, I'm actually going to navigate from back here because we have had a lot of conversations about calculating future property tax estimates for your buyers. Because as we all know, we're at this time of year when all the taxes are shifting and we're talking about appealing property taxes. So what's next for buyers? Especially our buyers who are not aware of this, who have never purchased a home before and this is their first home. The taxes go up, don't they? If that home wasn't sold for 20 years, is that buyer going to have a shock in about 12 months-ish, around or the next tax period? Yes, they are, aren't they? Is everybody aware that you can find this very, very easily and you can give them an estimate? It is not guaranteed. However, it is an estimate of what their taxes could look like. How many people are exercising this? You're not wrong if you don't, but I want you to if you're not. Thank you. So, RealComp has a very simple way if you're a RealComp subscriber. If not, you can literally just Google Michigan property tax.
The state of Michigan.
Yeah, state of Michigan property tax valuation. It's very simple to do, but RealComp does have a direct access to it.
We text it to every buyer, the link to it.
Yeah, absolutely. The buyers can pull it up themselves. Go to last time. down to millage rates. One way to do this to find the millage rate. And you are on Michigan.gov, so you're on the official site.
And you can share that with the links.
Yes, so what I highly recommend is that all of you have this bookmarked, so that you can just copy and share this to anybody that you need to. All buyers should be looking at what these future tax estimates are going to be. Because what has been happening, first off, assessors villainize us because we do not talk to our people about this, and the buyers come screaming when they get their new bills because they were not spoken to nor prepared for this financially, right? Because it screws the escrow accounts in the future. There are a million different reasons why this is important. So begin estimating property taxes. How many people are actually utilizing this site? Okay, good, we got a good amount of hands in here. So let's just say we're looking in Livingston County. Brighton, Brighton area schools. So now, it's telling you everything you need to know. It's giving you now these are 2023 rates, however, the homestead millage rate and the non-homestead millage rate, 40 versus 58 between homestead and non-homestead. This opens people's eyes, right? When they see the differences in the cost. So if you've got an SUV that was calculated at, we'll just do simple numbers. When someone, we've got a first-time home buyer who's looking at a house, and their current taxable value is 100 grand. What are their taxes? So if the taxable value is 100 grand, their taxes are currently at a homestead rate of $40,000. At a homestead of $58.60. But let's say it gets uncapped. So this sale takes place. The new SEV goes to, because this seller lived there a very, very long time. Let's just take an even number. Going to 200. Oh, it's a little shocking, isn't it? It's very, very, very important. What has been happening and what has always happened is sometimes we're putting these buyers in positions that they can't afford the houses anymore within 12 to 24 months. It's a big conversation. It's a big conversation that we need to be having.
Nicole, what's that link, or can you send it?
Yes, it's through the state of Michigan, Michigan.gov site, okay?
Google interest rates.
Yes,
Michigan property tax estimator.
yes.
It'll pop up.
It'll pop right up. It is something that you should have bookmarked on at this point, with most buyers being capped out at their ranges, this, first off, it needs to be done on every single property that you sell. But more now than ever, the affordability is shifting no matter where you are. So they could be looking in Putnam Township, they could be looking in Hamburg. The taxes are going to be different. They're going to potentially put them in a position where that house may not qualify for the amount of money that that buyer is qualified to purchase. Every home matters right now. Kevin.
So it wasn't our buyer, it's somebody who, a friend of ours sent us to help them out. They bought a home, Washtenaw County. It was originally like a 67 was the original. And they bought it, the agent did not tell them their taxes would go up. And their taxes went from about $2,500 a year to $9,000 a
They couldn't
year.
afford the house.
They no longer can afford the house.
It happens.
I
Yes.
think that's-
And that's a very hard thing to, because you can't fight your taxes because you can't afford them anymore. It even tells you in these talking points that I had up on here that it does not qualify you to get your taxes reduced, unfortunately. Now, if you have a VA buyer, a veteran, that is 100% disabled, they do have the ability to go to their township and request for their property taxes to be terminated.
Do they still need to do that every year? Did they?
I don't think they need to
Did they
renew it
change
every year.
that
I think it's
rule?
through their ownership. Does anybody know that full
Because I know
answer?
they were talking about taking that rule away where it was every single year.
I'm not sure if it's every year or not. I have not heard that it was. To me, most of the people I have heard, it's like out of sight, out of mind, once it's established. But I'll check on that one. Yeah, that's a good one, because they might have to, if they have to reapply every year, that's a talking point that you have to have with your veteran buyers.
Because I ran into one where it had lapsed when the husband got sick and the wife didn't know.
Oh,
And
maybe
then
there's
when-
so many
and then when
years.
he died, she lost the house because she couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
But it should have kept going.
It
but
theoretically should have kept going,
Right, but
yes.
it did not. So that's why I was
And that's a municipality issue typically.
probably.
Yes, because it is, you do have to go through the municipality to do this. It is not done like at a higher state level. It is directly through the local municipality.
We have one listed right now, it's a VA, you
Mhm.
can assume a 2.5% mortgage.
Mhm.
What a pain in the ass that is. It's not easy.
No, it's not, but at 2.5%, maybe all that effort's worth
There's
it.
so much and it takes a long time.
Yes. Yes.
It's not an easy thing.
No,
We need to
it's-
streamline
There's
that.
usually not enough equity, so usually
Is
they.
your buyer a veteran too?
There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it,
well,
hopefully,
it's the
all of the
same
work is worth it for them.
So if they bought it 5 years
And
ago and the value's much higher than getting the loan.
They gotta bring a lot.
So the loan, they gotta, yeah, how do they do that?
How
They
do
gotta cover
they do
the
that?
gap, they gotta
So
get a
they
different
need two
loan.
different, it's a different type of loan and then that one.
Because they only owe 400, you're selling it for 600.
Yeah.
There's a
That's
200,
the
do they
problem.
give it to them at that cheap interest rate, or do they give them a second loan at a?
no, I think it's all the same, because it defeats the purpose.
No, you only keep the original.
Oh, okay, the only original, okay.
You either gotta bring cash
Got
or
it.
someone.
Oh, yeah, they have to make up the difference with, yes, they have to bring the money difference. That's the trick to it, is they have to be able to,
And they're not at the same, they'll be.
Oh, they're gonna go off that as a second mortgage.
Yeah, they'll be like at a 9.
Because that bank's in the second place behind the VA that's already there.
Even if you go through the same thing that the US
Yes.
Bank has,
Yes, oh,
it's horrible.
we've been through this once, so yes. Yes, that's the way.
well, hopefully it's worth all of the labor
Bring
that's
it.
taking place.
Yeah, but you've got somebody that has big time.
Hey,
Well,
Right.
who's got 250 grand cash and then,
Yeah, that's what you need to find.
Other than you?
Just give it to them.
This is such a, it's a huge talking point. It's something to consider when you have a seller who has also lived in their home for a very long amount of time, giving them the knowledge that some buyers will be eliminated due to this as well, okay? But more importantly, it's so that the buyers know what they're walking into. You can tell them that their payments are potentially, or they can look and do the math themselves, because we, this is not guaranteed, it's an estimate. However,
It works in the favor of some buyers.
It does.
Because if it's really, really low and they have like hidden income that
Yes.
they can't use and they can actually afford, like Brighton versus Brighton
Mhm.
Township, and it's very low taxes, they can get approved for the mortgage and then when it goes up, it's not a factor.
Correct. So the buyers just have to be aware that there will be a shift, that their escrow accounts potentially may be a little wonky when that happens because they're gonna be short. Bill?
The other thing you noticed on the thing was the the homestead versus
Yes.
non-homestead. It's like 30% more.
Yes,
So if your buyer is buying a house that's vacant,
yes.
you should drill down a little bit to see whether they've uncapped it or not and put it at the non-homestead rate,
Mhm.
because that will
Shifts
screw 'em up.
everything.
Too, for a year, it'll be non-homestead, and that's, the tax hit is 30% more, that can be a lot.
We talked a lot about this at boot camp yesterday as well. Anybody familiar, and so I apologize to the ones that it's repetitive for, anybody ever realize what Southfield looks like as far as their millage and how their taxes are charged? Yeah. All right, do you want to see? I want to take a moment.
Southgate's pretty nice.
Is it?
Oh, you should look at some of those winter tax bills to see what's on them.
Oh my gosh, some of them
Just
pay for
read.
homelessness.
Yeah.
Southfield's one of the worst I've ever seen.
The Washington one, we had 4 different spots for homeless. And each, so this homeowner was paying 160 for homeless, 48 for homeless, 70 for homeless. And it's like, they kept putting up new villages that people would vote for to house the homeless. And it ended up they're paying $400 a year.
need to send Elon Musk
Every house.
It was 10,000.
Just go on the BSNA and look up some winter taxes and you'll see who's who.
We had a discussion yesterday, and
Ooh, look
I'm
at
on-
them, 60 mils.
60
I'm often involved
mils
in
for
a lot of,
homestead.
You should look up Southgate.
Oh,
city meetings, and
60.
always
Southgate is-
increasing on
I'm not
60.
sure, but it's been a minute since I was there, so.
So if your buyers decide they want to venture out into other areas, this is something we really need to look at, okay? Because for Homestead, they're at 60.72. What was Brighton at, 40?
Yeah.
Township is 24.
Townships.
And Marion Township's 23, 24.
Non-homesteads only jumped up 8. Okay? So you wanted to see Southgate?
Yeah,
that
Wayne
is-
County.
But Detroit's high.
Yeah.
It's fun to play with this if you ever get an opportunity with a free in all your spare time. 58 and 77.
Okay.
But these are brutal. You just have to know these things, right? You're getting city services in Southgate. People really like their services, right? Hopefully. You hope, you hope. You hope. Woodhaven is next.
Well, Woodhaven-
Well, you could just put Detroit in there. Detroit's like 101.
But then you,
Yeah, go look at Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the great part, they have those high villages, you get city services, right? You have to pay for sewer, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for trash.
86.
69 for
69.
homestead and 86.4 for non-homestead. So how's that looking for investment properties in the city of Detroit and Detroit City School District?
That's why they're doing tiny house development.
Yeah, so put in the value of what, 75, it would be 150.
You need to pull it and set it. Pull your stuff out and set it on fire.
5,200 in taxes.
For $150,000.
For a $150,000 house.
Startling.
Taxes are higher than the market.
Yeah, Waterville's fun.
And they're still getting people that work there for city tax.
Yes.
Yes.
I would hate that.
These are just, this is to get your brain moving in the right direction, to check and verify these things for your buyers. It's very, very important. They rely on you to do this because they do not know what's coming most of the
Detroit,
time.
Warren, Sterling Heights, and Grayling have the highest money.
All right, so let's move right into, thank you for enjoying that show there, but let's move right into our market watch for the week. So we are at 38 new for the week, 7 coming soon. Again, our pending and our new have almost matched up. This is the first time we've been this close in a while. All right, we're only outpacing by 1 because last week we were at 42 new and 49 pending. So we've closed that gap up a little bit. All right, we've got 12 accepting backup offers. Because what's happening?
People are falling apart because they figure out they can't afford it after their taxes, after this, after that.
They're already pushed to the max. They're second guessing, we're back in multiple offer. Anything that is move-in condition and priced even in realm, multiple offers in the last couple of weeks, right? Now this ebbs and flows every couple of weeks and shifts based on what's happening economically, interest rate-wise, politically, whatever you may want to call it. It's all rolling into the same snowball right now. It's shifting. We're seeing some shifts, not bad, not great, just steady. Any questions on this? 6 expired, we're seeing complete state, it's completely on the same track for that. Anybody working the expireds right now? Nick, you were working them. Have you been calling them? You haven't lately? Okay. You feeling okay?
You feeling all right? Your whole career, that's all you do is expire.
Did you know that Nick moved out of the basement?
What?
What? I know, he's upstairs. He's with the living on the top floor.
He's up in the icebox.
Wow.
He
Here's a smile. I was waiting for that.
He wanted sunlight. He and Keisha are sharing an
He
office
makes
together.
so much noise. I don't even know what the hell you're doing in there.
I don't think anybody's louder than you, Joe.
You're banging chairs, doing this, doing that.
Because your mouth is going.
Don't sit there, because I want you talking there. That's what I do.
Take it upstairs. Take it upstairs. There's enough room up there. Anybody have any new listings they want to discuss?
Jump all over.
Aaron?
New construction with White Lake privileges, and so there's nothing in this price range. It's appraised at $380. It's 1,780 square feet. It's 2-story. has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. The builder lives next door. He's been doing it for a long time. He's got a concrete driveway. He has a crawl space that's almost 4 feet high. That's all sealed and heated. It is a single car garage, unfortunately. So, yeah, you gotta be okay with stairs, but it's appraised at 380, and it was listed at 410, and then 400 with Net Realty out of Milford, and we're gonna list it at 372.5.
It's a steal.
Thursday.
And it's new construction.
It's new construction. And the other new construction's like over 5, it's 1 over 500, they're all over 700 in that area. It's in Highland, right in between White Lake and Duck Lake. You could walk either with their
Do they have lakefront?
It has, well, White Lake's public, so you can say it's White Lake. It does not have Duck Lake, but it's really close to the beach where you can go to, like, you can still go to the Duck Lake beach.
Very cool. Who else had a new listing? I saw another hand out of the corner of my eye. No? All right. Oh, Bonnie.
2,700 square foot condo, Joan First Choice built over Lake Edgewood, 79.
Wow.
Is it attached or?
It's a one wall, it's the end, walk out.
It's a really nice community.
Dollar for dollar, those are probably the best deal.
They are the best bang for your buck for square footage and location. They are. It's like a hidden gem pulled, you don't realize all of what's back there until you get in. Yeah, few and far between in there. It's a great buy. You say 2,700 square feet?
It's finished basically.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Really great. That's a really good, that's good bang for your buck. It is. All right. Any more buyer needs?
I'm listing 10136 Shenandoah Ridge. I just sold it to the guy 6 months ago, lost his job.
Oh,
What happened?
Lost his job. So
that's very sad.
it's like new, I mean, it's a beautiful home.
So he's just being proactive and doing what he thinks he needs to do.
It's
Yeah.
2,500 square feet, 4 beds, 4 bath.
It's a great sub.
We're gonna list it for 624.9. He put all new carpet, new appliances,
He
and
lost his job.
Got finished lower level. He didn't sell his other place, it was moving back.
Okay.
Joe finished basement?
pardon?
Finished basement? No.
No. Yeah, yes it does. Yes, it's got finished.
Shenandoah?
Yeah.
Teresa, you wanted to mention something?
Oh, yeah. So I have a client whose son lost their disability. He's a severe epileptic. And they're asking for, they did a GoFundMe, because they have an apartment in Flint. It's not like they're living beyond their means, they're just barely subsisting. And it's my client's son, they have a 9-year-old girl and like a 3-month-old little boy. They're afraid they're gonna get evicted. They're asking $3,000 on a GoFundMe, I think they're up to 14. They probably, my client said it's gonna take 6 to 9 months to get that reinstated. So she's in paperwork, AGLL right now, so they're just asking so that they can make their rent. That's all they're asking for, they're not asking for the money, just any little bit. If anybody wants to donate to that, that'd be great. I can give you a link.
And she shared the link with me as well, so
Even just $25, because she's halfway to her 3,000 already.
That's great.
So a little bit of help.
that's great.
I promised her I'd spread the word, but.
No, we appreciate that, thank you. No, we'll make that link available. No problem. Anybody have anything else they want to share? All right, well, we'll get you out on time. Have a great day. Happy early Valentine's Day. Enjoy those goodies back there. Please don't let them sit here.
That's how it is.
Let me make sure I have your right information.
And now,
How are you? I love your outfit.
Okay.